Good afternoon. I am Mr. David Walpole, Dean of Students at Center Grove High School for the class of 2018. At this time, I would ask everyone to take your seats so we may begin this afternoon's ceremony. I have been asked by the class to make some preliminary remarks about the decorum for the ceremony. We ask that all videotaping be done from the person's seat. We would also remind our audience that each graduate and their family has only one opportunity to hear his or her name called during the roll call of graduates. We ask you to make sure that every name can be heard and to limit your celebration so that each name will be heard. Lastly, please turn off all cell phones and other electronic devices. The class of 2018 would appreciate your cooperation regarding these requests. Thank you. Mr. Schessler, please begin the processional.
the Center Grove High School's Class of 2018 commencement ceremony. My name is Ryan Alt, and I have had the honor and privilege of being the senior class president. Please stand for a moment of silence for the classmates we have lost. Thank you. Please remain standing for the National Anthem. Men, please remove your hats. Thank you, and please be seated. Gentlemen may replace their hats. Today marks a very special chapter in our lives, our graduation from high school. For the past 4 years, we have strived for this very moment, this 3-hour celebration of all of our hard work and dedication. All of us have worked extremely hard for this moment, and we all know the feeling of staying up late to study for that massive test that may make or break your grade, or that project that you procrastinated that is due at midnight. We all know how it feels to take I-STEP 10 million times, even after your teacher said it'd be the last time you'd ever have to take it in 3rd grade. However, it is not only the academics that cause stress in our lives. A lot can happen in 4 years, and a lot of you have faced some very adverse situations that pushed you to your very limits. Some of you have faced adversity in the form of a broken heart in the many relationships that you have developed or lost. Some of you have faced adversity in the form of struggles within your family. And for many, you have faced struggles with the loss of a loved one, whether it be grandparents, parents, siblings, or even for some, friends. During one of his most adverse situations, the Battle of Britain, Prime Minister Winston Churchill was quoted with saying, "If you're going through hell, keep going." You rose above it all, and you were able to conquer the impossible. These past 4 years are a testimony to your drive, your will to succeed, and your ability to overcome. I know that every single one of you are going to make a difference in the world. Congratulations and thank you. Now I'd like to invite our all-student body president, Tyler Watson, to the stage to introduce our wonderful guests. Yeah,
All right. So I'm not here to give a speech because my job is to introduce our incredible administration, staff, and school board members. But before I do so, I would like to share one piece of advice, especially to my fellow classmates, as we move on to the next stage of life. Never take life for granted, because the second you do is the second you stop loving it. Now, to introduce our guests, seated on the stage this afternoon, Dr. Richard Arkanoff, Superintendent of Schools. Dr. William Long, Assistant Superintendent. Dr. Paul Gabriel, Chief Financial Officer. Dr. Jack Parker, Assistant Superintendent. Mr. Jack Russell, President of the Board of School Trustees. Mr. Scott Alexander, Vice President. Mrs. Carol Toomey, Secretary. Mr. Rob Daniels, Board Member. Mr. Adam Norman, Board Member. Mr. Jeff Henderson, Principal. Mr. Jake Short, Assistant Principal. And finally, Mrs. Tracy McMahon, Assistant Principal. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Brett Boswell, Senior Class Treasurer, for the introduction of the STAR teachers and counselors of the class of 2018.
It is my pleasure to introduce the STAR teachers of the class of 2018. Students, Teachers, and Relationships, or STAR as it's called, is a common class period in which the graduating seniors have had daily interactions with fellow students and a mentoring teacher. I would like to recognize these STAR teachers by asking them to stand and stay standing until each is recognized. Please hold your applause to the end. Mrs. Tracy Buck, Mrs. Cindy Coakley-Vidal, Mr. Troy Dice, Mrs. Jackie Fowler, Mrs. Betty Griffith, Miss Maggie Harbison, Mr. Rick Jones, Mr. James McAdams, Mr. John Moore, Mr. Sean Sanders, Mr. Joshua Surface, Mrs. Trina Vierkamp, Mrs. Amy Wingler, Mr. Troy Burkhart, Mrs. Julie Coyne, Mrs. Ann Elsner, Mrs. Jessica Goodman, Mr. Alan Hagedorn, Mrs. Krista Hensley, Mr. David Lawson, Miss Jane McMurr, Mrs. Debbie Nolan, Mr. Brent Schultz, Mr. James Todd, and Mrs. Ashley Vitz. Thank you all for your service and mentoring us the past 4 years. Next, I'd like to introduce the guidance counselors of Center Grove High School. The guidance counselors have played an important role through the scheduling, counseling, mentoring of each student in the class of 2018. Please stand and be recognized until each name is read, and again, please hold your applause to the end. Mrs. Angela Chaplin, Mrs. Kelly McCary, Mrs. Stephanie Paul, Mrs. Megan Krukermeyer, Mrs. Lindsay Miller, and Miss Connie Poston. Thank you all for your service and helping us find out where we want to be next year. At this time, I ask the senior members of the Center Grove High School Orchestra and Choir to assemble with their organizations. As is our tradition, Center Grove's High School Choir, Orchestra, and Wind Ensemble, under the direction of Mrs. Jennifer Dice, Mr. Jared Norman, and Mr. Kevin Schuchler, will perform Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Henderson. I have the good fortune of serving as the principal here at Center Grove High School. Welcome. At this point in time in our program, we like to take an opportunity traditionally to recognize the top 10 students in our graduating class. However, this year, it's my honor to introduce the top 13 academic students of the class of 2018 as a result of ties in GPA. Competitive group. As your name is called, please stand. Audience, please hold your applause until all students have been recognized. Mitchell S. Black, Adam N. Brody, Mackenzie L. Castellanos, Jacob M. Cooley, Isaac P. Hagedorn, Zoe C. Hankier, Madison L. Hodges, Samuel A. Jean, Brianna Matzenbacher, Jennifer T. Peters, Caitlyn A. Petro, Peyton L. Staub, and Cameron Zook. Congratulations. You can be seated. Thank you. This time I'd like to introduce Mr. Jake Short, Assistant Principal, to introduce the Salutatorian for the class of 2018.
Good afternoon, graduates, school board members, faculty, parents, and honored guests. It's with great honor that I introduce the salutatorian of the class of 2018, Caitlyn Petro. Caitlyn, will you please join me on stage? It is also my pleasure to introduce Caitlyn's parents, Ryan and Angie Petro, and her brother Tyler Petro. Caitlyn would like to thank her parents for their relentless support and constant encouragement. There was never a day of her school career that they weren't there to help her and serve as the pillars of her success. Caitlyn's final GPA is a 4.675. She has taken 9 AP courses and has also completed all honors and AP courses in the 4 core subjects. Caitlyn hasn't earned a grade less than an A in any course and has earned a 5 on each AP test she has taken. Some of Caitlyn's awards include earning 2 Scholastic Gold Keys for her writing, 2 gold keys, and 5 silver keys for her artwork. She is also the only student in the state of Indiana to have her writing printed in this anthology 2 years in a row. She was an IESP Rising Star her junior year as well. Caitlyn has excelled in the classroom, but she's also been involved in a variety of activities outside of school. Caitlyn enjoys writing critical essays and poetry. English is her passion. She's also a competitive weightlifter. She spends a lot of time volunteering at a place that's near and dear to her, which is Uplands Peak Animal Sanctuary in Salem, Indiana. She maintains a job at Kroger. She served as the vice president of the French National Honor Society and is also a member of the French Club. And last but certainly not least, she volunteers at the Indiana Animal Rights Alliance. I requested Caitlyn's senior teachers to provide me with a few comments and sayings to describe Caitlyn. The responses included, "Thank goodness for Caitlyn Petro. She has restored my confidence in the future of our planet." I was really impressed with her determination, as she was always willing to put in the extra time and effort to truly learn. Caitlyn's intellect, forethought, and sound judgment are truly unique. Her very presence makes those around her listen when she speaks. Caitlyn's passion and conviction will make her a force to be reckoned with as she makes her journey through life. It is because of students like Caitlyn that teachers strive to be better each and every day. Caitlyn represents all we hope our students become by the time they leave high school, someone who will flourish in any academic environment influence positively people around her, and make a meaningful impact on those who are less fortunate. Caitlyn will be attending Indiana University in the fall as a direct admit to the IU School of Public Health and Hutton Honors College. Caitlyn hopes to double major in English and nutrition science. She has earned over $40,000 in scholarships through Scholarship America, Johnson County Memorial Hospital, and Indiana University. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating our 2018 salutatorian, Mrs. Caitlyn Petro.
Thank you, Mr. Short, for that kind introduction. I never thought I would be in this position, but I am proud to be given the opportunity to address this group of talented and ambitious students. It truly is such an honor. First and foremost, thank you to my family. It is impossible to express in words the gratitude I have for them. I could not ask for a better group of people to stand behind me in this life's journey. They support me and encourage me in any obstacle I encounter. Mom, Dad, thank you for putting up with my stress-induced mental breakdowns, my fits of self-doubt, and all those times I came home crying that I failed that test, when, actually, I got an A. Thank you for being there to keep me on track and for constantly reminding me of my strength. Tyler, my big brother, or better put, my best friend. I will never forget how terrified I was on the first day of riding the bus in elementary school, and how you comforted me by singing, "Don't worry, be happy, because every little thing is gonna be all right." Thank you for always being my #1 supporter, for making me laugh all the time, and for continually reminding me that laughter and love are truly what matter in this life. Further, I'd like to say thank you to my friends, whose names I wish I had the time to list. Throughout most of my high school career, I kept to myself. I was extremely shy. It is difficult to learn the art of small talk when you have your nose perpetually buried in a book. But these last 2 years, I have grown close to a variety of people who have made me feel welcome and loved here. I hope you all know who you are. Thank you. I look forward to seeing the incredible things you all will accomplish. And finally, I would like to thank my teachers, whose guidance, confidence, and support have propelled me on this path to success, and who have played an important role in my growth from a little girl with dreams to a young woman with vision. I hope you realize that each and every day you have the ability to make an impact, not just on the lives of your individual students, but on the future of the entire human race. Thank you for all that you do. Your hard work and dedication does not go unnoticed. Now, to the class of 2018 as a whole. My favorite poet, Mary Oliver, in her distinct voice, asks, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" Let me say that again. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? It seems like an insurmountable task after 13 consecutive years of knowing the same people and seeing the same faces each day to create a culminating speech that captures the indescribable emotions and dynamic anticipation I'm sure we are all experiencing. Keep in mind that this ceremony is not the end, but merely a transitional event in our lives. And despite what the innumerable hours of studying, reading, and completing assignments may suggest, high school is not our lives. There are nearly 600 of us here graduating today, and each of us will move on to pursue a unique path. Imagine yourselves 10 years from now. Where will you be? One thing is certain, we will be somewhere looking back on this time, perhaps from different states, maybe even different countries. And hopefully we will be proud of the in-between, of how we used those 10 years. We each have, in this beautiful world full of endless possibilities, an opportunity, and maybe even an obligation, to live this one precious life wildly and to the fullest, to craft from it what we dream to achieve. And though graduating high school is an important and necessary step, it offers merely a scratch on the surface of our potential. Class of 2018, this is your one wild and precious life. The word wild means uncontrolled or unrestrained. No one can dictate your life for you. And the word precious means something of great value, not to be wasted or treated carelessly. To live wildly does not have to mean doing grand and unbelievable things. It can simply mean realizing the preciousness and the potential in each moment and living your life in a way that excites you. I suggest we do the things we love. Do the things that make a difference in the world around us, no matter how seemingly small. In another one of her poems, Mary Oliver denotes, "To live in this world, you must be able to do 3 things. To love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it, and when the time comes to let it go, to let it go." Congratulations, Trojans, we did it. We lived through this fleeting experience, and we loved it along the way in its mortality and impermanence. And now, it's time to let it go, to move on to bigger and enormously wonderful things. I hope you each leave here and reflect upon your aspirations. Your one wild and precious life awaits, and all its boundless possibility. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is with great pride that I introduce Center Grove High School's valedictorian, Madison Hodges. Madison, will you please join me on stage? Joining in Madison's celebration are her parents, Dr. Kim Hodges and Steve Hodges, as well as her siblings, Bailey, Andrew, and Zachary. Additionally, she would like to recognize her cousin Hannah, her uncles Jason and Ian, and her grandfather Steve Hodges Sr. Madison's teachers describe her as driven and passionate, a quiet leader who is kind, caring, and helpful, a student who strives to embrace her education with gusto, energy, and creativity. Another says she represents the most we can hope for in academics, the relentless and tireless pursuit of understanding, skill application, and excellence, regardless of the course or content. Madison has indeed pursued excellence. Her final GPA is 4.717. She has taken 12 AP courses and has earned A's in every course she has ever taken. She is an AP Scholar with Distinction, an Indiana Association of School Principals Rising Star and Regional Academic All-Star, a Silver Key Scholastic Art and Writing Award winner, a National Merit Scholar, the top female math student, the top Calculus BC student, the top Spanish student, and the outstanding wind ensemble performer at Center Grove High School. However, academics alone do not define this outstanding young lady. Her teachers say she is 3-dimensional. She's a top scholar, a talented musician, and a global citizen whose proclivity for empathy and compassion makes her one who can be a leader among others. Madison's leadership has played an integral role here at Center Grove High School. In her 4 years, she has been a 4-year member of the Academic Super Bowl team, an inductee of the Spanish Honor Society and the National Honor Society, a school representative at Hoosier Girls State and the Richard Lugar Symposium for Future Leaders. She is a 4-year member of the pep band, concert band, and marching band, where she finished her senior year as drum major. She has also been a 4-year member of the Student Council, where she has served as class officer, class secretary, all student body secretary, and currently all student body vice president. Madison is excited to begin the next chapter at Purdue University, where she will be studying engineering in the hopes of one day becoming an environmental consultant for the EPA. Madison will also continue her music career by participating in Purdue's All-American Marching Band and Concert Band. Madison, you have led in the classroom with your mind and with your heart. You have been a joy and an inspiration. We are very proud of your hard work, and we are grateful for all you have given to Center Grove over the last 4 years. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so grateful and excited to be speaking today. I'm a little nervous, but I was told to speak no longer than 30 minutes, so this should be over shortly. To my fellow graduates, congratulations, we did it. Graduating high school is no small accomplishment. We've committed ourselves to 13 years of hard work and now get a super fancy piece of paper to mark our success. But we wouldn't be able to walk across the stage and accept those fancy pieces of paper without the support of our families, teachers, and each other. I'd like to take a moment to thank a few people who have led me in the right direction. I'd like to thank my family for supporting me, making me laugh, and loving me unconditionally. To my mom and role model, Dr. Kim Hodges, thank you for showing me what it's like to be a strong woman, valuing your own education so your children do the same, and as I get older, being my friend and confidant. To my dad, thank you for sharing your curiosity outside of the academic setting and showing me that there's always more to learn. To my sister Bailey, thank you for being my best friend. I will forever treasure the memories and adventures we've shared and cannot wait to continue them at Purdue. To my little brother Zach, you inspire me often to be kinder to others, and I cannot wait to see the young man that you grow up to be. And to my little brother Andrew, thank you for reminding me daily that life is good and that there's no need to worry. I'd also like to thank my friends for reminding me to have fun, inspiring me with their grace and maturity, and believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. And of course, what is a student without a teacher? I have too many insightful and encouraging teachers to list, but as a whole, I would like to thank all of you for holding me to a high standard and instilling in me a curiosity and thirst for knowledge. Also, thank you to Mr. Surface and my friend Sam Indris for helping me in the speech writing process. Now, as promised in a shameless act of self-promotion, I will give a personal shout out to every person who attended my open house last night. That was a joke, so. But really, today we're celebrating our graduation, but our success is the result of the many people and many specific decisions that led to this moment. For example, without my teachers, I wouldn't have the inspiration for this very speech. In Spanish class a few weeks ago, I discovered that there are actually two different words in the Spanish language for education, enseñanza and educación. Enseñanza refers to what we typically consider education, academics, tests, homework, and all the content we learn along the way. Because it sounds so similar to the English word, we often use educación in the place of enseñanza, but in Spanish, educación actually refers to much more. Our educación includes our academic growth, yes, but it also encompasses our personal development, cultural awareness, and really the process of growing up. As someone who loves to learn, this distinction really interested me. Maybe the Spanish language communicates nuances in ways the English language doesn't. For example, in Spanish, you don't say you're taking a test, you suffer a test. So clearly we're dealing with some higher level thinking here. But really, we're students in the classroom, but we're also students of theater, athletics, relationships, and life, constantly learning how to communicate with each other and the world around us. Today, we're here to celebrate the end of our high school career, but really, we're here to celebrate the people we've become and the challenges we've overcome. I will always value my education and all the knowledge I've gained, but I truly believe that the most important things I learned in high school weren't how to use the ln function in calculus, and definitely not what shifts a demand curve in econ. The most important things I learned in high school were the lessons that I learned about myself. I want everyone to sit here for a second and think about yourself 4 years ago, beginning high school and ready to take on the world. You might have had braces, a bad haircut, bright pink glasses, or a terrible sense of style, and some of us still have those things. But 4 years ago, it was 10 times worse. It's cringy, right? Nobody wants to remember that time. But what makes it so cringy? What makes looking back at an old version of ourselves so terrible? All those memories are a mark of our growth and evidence that somewhere in these 4 years of high school, we've changed. Between the before and after, there was a transformation, a process in which we made mistakes and learned from them. Personally, many of the insecurities and worries I held 4 years ago are no longer here. I have a very distinct memory from my freshman year where I was asked what I like about myself. And I remember thinking, of course I like myself, I got this. But I sat there for a few seconds, waiting, and I couldn't think of a single thing. My mind was blank. But what scared me most is that other people would look at me and see nothing just like I did. Subconsciously, I started collecting all these accomplishments to make myself worthwhile, to prove myself, so that the next time somebody asked me what I liked about myself, I would be ready with a list. I thought I needed all the accolades you heard a couple minutes ago. I thought I needed other people to like me to be enough. And it wasn't until other people started treating me the way I treated myself, like I truly was nothing, that I took a step back and reevaluated. It sounds obvious that my self-worth is not a reflection of my grades, but it took me 4 years to really understand it and apply it to myself. Some things in life we have to learn the hard way, and so comes to play our educación. When I asked you to look back at yourself 4 years ago, I imagine many of you saw a smaller version of yourself that lacked self-confidence or lacked self-awareness. Your fears may have stemmed from the pressure to perform athletically, the pressure to fit in, or the pressure you put on yourself. I hope that through our time here at Center Grove, some of those fears have been put to rest. Once I realized that my value was independent of my grades and accomplishments, I felt like I could tackle anything. Understanding my worth became the foundation on which I'm growing even more, learning to stand up for myself and learning to forgive. My journey may look different than yours, but the end results are the same. Whatever challenges you encountered over the past 4 years, overcoming those challenges and learning from them allowed you to understand who you are to the core. In the past year alone, I've witnessed many of us accept parts of ourselves we otherwise suppressed, embrace our passions, and dive into them without fear of failure, and treat each other with more compassion and respect. And looking forward, the growing does not stop here. In the future, we are going to struggle, and there will be moments where we feel alone and scared. I'm willing to bet that there are pressures awaiting us that we don't even realize exist. Someday, we'll have to deal with the impending doom of student debt, tackle the huge task of raising a child, and some of us will have to learn to do our own laundry. But we're not entering this world empty-handed. We may still have our self-doubts, but we're a heck of a lot closer to knowing ourselves than we were 4 years ago. We leave this school with the gift of knowledge, but please, do not let your education stop here. Keep moving forward. Keep putting those insecurities to rest. We are not yet the people that we are meant to be, and the only way to get there is to grow. We have before us a lifetime of opportunity and a lifetime of learning, and if we rise to the occasion, I think we might surprise ourselves. Thank you.
On behalf of the faculty and staff at Center Grove High School, I want to extend my sincere congratulations to the class of 2018. This afternoon, before honors are conferred upon those assembled here today, I wish to express my appreciation to parents and family members who have supported and nurtured these students as they have worked towards accomplishing this goal. We all know that without your love, your loyal support, and your perseverance, we would not be here today. So thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you for not only supporting the students gathered here today, but also the classroom teachers, as they have worked diligently to provide the best foundation possible for your students. At this time, I would like all members of the Center Grove faculty to stand to be recognized, please. As I sat down to make some notes about what to say today about the class of 2018, I found myself having very personal thoughts and memories about this graduating class. After all, this class will always be remembered as the first group of graduates that I've had the privilege of serving here at Center Grove High School. So thank you very much. Although I had the opportunity to only get to know you for a year, I developed a personal connection to the class very quickly. Seniors were among the first students to welcome my family and I to this community. Students, among your classmates, there is great diversity and very interesting and entertaining personalities. The accomplishments of the class of 2018 are many. Printed in your program today, you will see a key which will help you identify those graduates who have distinguished themselves through their affiliations and by earning various honors. Members of this class have reported approximately $5.3 million worth of academic and athletic scholarships earned. 3 students were named National Merit finalists. 11 were named as National Merit Commended students. We had 14 AP scholars, 5 AP scholars with honors, and 4 AP scholars with distinction. We also had an Indiana Regional Academic All-Star. 16 of our students have enlisted in various branches of the military, 2 of which have received appointments to the United States Military Academy at West Point. At this time, would all students, faculty, and guests who have served or are currently enlisted in any branch of the military please stand to be recognized? Thank you for your service. Throughout the course of the year, I had the pleasure of watching these students excel in a variety of ways. Whether it was in athletic competition, fine or performing arts contests or concerts, academic competitions, classroom presentations, or through any of the many clubs and organizations our students are involved in, I found one thing to be consistently true. Our students are passionate, hardworking, and driven to be the best. At the beginning of the year, I had the chance to speak to every class of students. At that time, I spoke to them about embracing a relentless pursuit of excellence while always remaining respectful, kind, and gracious in victory or defeat. About maintaining the fire to be the best while always remaining humble in the process. To borrow a few words from singer Tim McGraw, humility is a tightrope walk, a balancing act of the very emotions that propel achievement. Proud, but not boastful. Good, but not self-righteous. Confident, but not arrogant. Grateful, but never entitled. Sometimes we only truly learn humility when we lose our balance and fall off to one direction or the other. But it's important to keep trying. Humility is the core belief that we are all equally worthy. It requires us to lend a hand to the next guy, because that next guy is us. Humility believes that our humanity defines us, not our achievements. The faculty and staff gathered here today feel a special sense of pride and satisfaction as we look at the class of 2018 and realize that all of us as educators have had a part in bringing you to this point in your lives. We may not be privileged to help you in the future, but others will be waiting. Happy to work with each of you. Good luck to each of you from all of us at Center Grove High School. We wish you nothing but great success and happiness. Members of the Board of Education, Dr. Arkanoff, by the powers vested in me by the state of Indiana as principal of Center Grove High School, I do hereby certify that members of the class of 2018 gathered in front of you here today have met all graduation and/or certification requirements as established by the State Board of Education and the Center Grove Community School Corporation. It's now my honor to introduce Dr. Arkanoff, Superintendent of Center Grove Community School Corporation, for the presentation of the class of 2018. Thank you.
Mr. Henderson, on behalf of the Board of School of Trustees of the Center Grove Community School Corporation, and by the authority vested in me by the Indiana State Board of Education, it is a privilege to recommend the members of the class of 2018 by granting diplomas from Center Grove High School. Congratulations.
Peyton Leanne Stab. Ryan C. Alt. Stephen T. Watson. Mitchell S. Black. Adam Brody. Mackenzie Castellanos. Isaac Hagedorn. Zoe Celeste Honkier. Madison Lee Hodges. Samuel Avery Jean. Jennifer Peters. Caitlyn A. Petro. Cameron Zook. Brett R. Boswell. Ian G. Dwight. Emily Hoy. Jack Thomas Abbott. Brianna Matzenbacher. Jacob M. Cooley. Nathaniel Jacob Ader. Peter James Albin. Isaac Allen.
Heavenly Faith Allen. Trevor William Allen. Zachary Allison. Clara Wallen Anderson. Isabel Mackenzie Anderson. Sarah Kenley Anderson. Aisha Ansari. Lucy Elizabeth Arbuckle. Alexis Arteaga. Alex Atkinson. Donald Michael Atkins. Matthew Edward Leachman. Blake Megan Smith. Blake Owen West. Austin David Backey. Ezra Christopher Baker. Ben Bernard. Jonathan Bartow. Emily N. Bartuca. Grant A. Bauer. Jonathan T. Beaumay. Ethan M. Beaumont. Lauren M. Beckner.
Megan Riley Beebe. Austin S. Bennett. Jacob Lee Bertram. Julie E. Bashirs. Michael Bishop. Caleb Allen Blackledge. Rex Blackwell. Mark Blessing. Matthew Blessing. Lacey Dale Bowles. Miranda Bowen. William P. Bowling. Ziana Lynn Brady. Shelby Lynn Bragg. Ian D. Brayman. Neely C. Branham. Madison T. Brandt. Brooke Marie Brenneman. Patrick A. Brickley. Sean A. Bright. Alexander Brisson. Celeste Andorra Brooks.
Luna Bell Ivy Brooks. Olivia Faye Brooks. Bridget Benet Brown. Maxwell Browning. Evan Austin Brumbaugh. Gabrielle Alyssa Burgett. Haley Christine Berg. Hunter Troy Burnett. Rhett Franklin Butler. Emily K. Bird. Noah Ryan Carmichael. David Edward Carpenter. Nathan Edward Carver. Andrew R. Castellano. Jillian Sophia Castor. Ian James Kavanaugh. Jonah E. Chapman. Ashley Chastain. Mackenzie Chenault. Courtney Trepsky. Saval Simbat.
Hunter Rose Sissel. Tatiana Clements. William Cobb. Lauren Taylor Cochran. Victoria Collins. Jeremy Thomas Combs. Marco Antonio Copat. Noah Cornett. Zachary A. Zaro. Emma May Klauser. Blessing Ann Culver. Shelby Cunningham. John Curl. Corey Daffron. Austin Daming. Aubrey Dampierre. Amy Christine Davis. Evan Davis. Rachel DeChant. Abigail DeGuider. Benjamin Delphin. Benjamin DeRose.
Deanna Dilworth. Malin Donaldson. Emily Donica. Eric Drake. Ethan Duffy. Alexa Durham. Catherine Marie Edel. Jordan Edlin. Tyler Joe Edwards. Blake Eichelberger. Austin Barrick Eicher. Nicholas R. Ellis. Michael Erglins. Madison Nicole Everhart. Alexis Farrar. Mackenzie May Farrell. Jacob Fernandez. Madison Fields. Braden Fincham. Cliff Fisher. Grant Folds. Lauren Foley.
Max Foster. Nicholas Frangello. Karina Josephine Frankel. Alexis Freeman. Cameron Fresher. Colton Frieden. James Friel. Justin Gavareski. Braden Gear. Zin Gang. Braxton Gentry. Riley George. Jacob Gilchrist. Noah Gillard. Kiriki Gillespie. Jenna Gladish. Haley Goins. Morgan Golay. Alexandra Beata Golden. Alexander Gooding. Sydney Desiree Gosnell. Eric Goss. Nathaniel Greathouse.
Kelsey Green. Brianna Gregory. Sean Greider. Joseph Grinsell. Sophia Gutierrez. Danielle R. Haas. Dylan M. Hadley. Jalen Rochelle Hagerstrom. Elviana Marie Haynes. Mary Hamilton. Cassidy Nicole Harden. Garrett D. Harriman. Jonathan Hawley. Mackenzie Brianna Hawley. Jonah Jameson Hayes. Sierra Nicole Heverin. Ellie Marie Heckler. Olivia Renee Heffley. Corey Jacob Heinrichs. Michaela Cheyenne Heisinger. Jessica Nicole Helm. Madeline Lara Helms.
Sydney Nicole Herberts. Catherine Hibbler. Dylan R. Hicks. Denali Patton Higgins. Gage Hobein. Gavin C. Hoffman. Rachel J. Hoffman. Brennan Uritai Hollers. Logan Hostetter. Reagan Catherine Howard. Elizabeth Hubbard. Madison Ray Hickman. Francis W. Inch IV. Morgan Renee Ingle. Akil Isanaka. Alexander M. Jackson. William Jacks. Ida Elizabeth James. Emily Brighton Jesse. Jacob Johnson. Jonah D. Johnson.
Emma Christine Jones. Emma Lee Jones. Paul Joseph Kamer. Andrew Boyd Canwit. Morgan E. Keller. Jeremy Keish. Robert Dean Kidwell. Marcus Kite. Caleb Mitchell Kyle. Ashlyn M. King. Austin J. King. Nathan E. King. Eva D. Kissel. Nicole Kissler. Joseph D. Clausen. Kaylee P. Knutson. Benjamin Kogut. Sophia A. Krasutsky. Rachel Karen Kraus. Alexandria Lee Kreider. Grace Lancy. Sophia Ann Lackey. Skylar May Lattimore.
Elijah H. Lawyer Smith. Ellen Marie Lemasters. Tyler Jordan Lemasters. Gunnar Lee Lepper. Tristan William Lewis. Logan Michelle Liffick. Joshua Zhaoyong Lin. Grace Ruthann Long. Jacob Luvernick. Saida James Lucas. Connor J. Lyon. Haley Mackenzie Maffett. Tyler Lee Mackey. Madeline Sophia Mann. Gleason Leo Mappus. Tova Rosalie Marquet. Emily Grace Martin. Morgan Elizabeth Martin. Victoria Brianne Martin. Haley Lynn Martledge. Emma Elena Matei.
Gavin Payne Mathis. Jalen Matthews. Kaylee Alexis Malden. Zachary McCabe. Xavier McCrae Wire. Devon McDonald. Maya McDorman. Emily Ann McGraw. Lindy Marie McGraw. Nathaniel James McLean. Hector T. Medina. Emily Leona Mendenhall. Devin Renee Merriman. Chandler Meyer. Allison Michael. Tracy William Robert Miles. Erica D. Miller. Charles W. Miner. Megna Minhas. Emily Rosemary Miner. Evan R. Miner. Connor Lewis Mins. Anthony M. Mitchell.
Cooper Reed Mitchell. Morgan A. Mitchell. Alyssa Louise Mokas. Zachary J. A. Moisen. Caitlyn Ashley Molina. Kimberly Louise Montgomery. Madison Dawn Montgomery. Michael Morgan. Peyton A. Morris. Hannah Maureen Moss. Alexander Burton Maraska. David Mucci. Ileana Mulder. Mia Lauren Molinaro. Shelby Ann Murphy. Muhammad Abdul Musa. Cassie Myers. Alexis M. Neff. Zachary Newkirk. Louis A. Niblin. Eric Joseph Nidus. Luke Christopher Norton.
Olivia Norton. Stacy Nugent. John L. Nystrom. Madeline Rose O'Corn. Lillian Grace Osborne. Allison Palmer. Braden M. Parks. Trayshawn Parks. Athena Grace Pacifium. Kennedy Jade Payne. Haley N. Pennington. Jenna A. Phillips. Michael V. Phillips. Abigail Elaine Plummer. Brianna Pollard. Shaitasia Lamantria Powell. Austin W. Price. Alec R. Prime. Gabrielle Puglisi. Kennedy Laura Quintana. Derek Ralph. Ivy Jacqueline Ramirez. Madeline Diana Rassel.
Madeline C. Rao. Gregory D. Raymond. Aaron C. Rayner. Morgan E. Rayner. Andrew M. Rector. Kylie Marie Reed. Joshua Thomas Rice. Jessica Elizabeth Richardson. Hannah Joy Richmond. Mackenzie Shea Ritter. Daniel Wilfredo Rivera. Kayla Ann Roach. Walter Riley Roberts. Cameron Allen Robinson. Olivia Claire Rodimo. Celeste Sky Rothrock. Garrett Matthew Rowland. Shauna Renee Mackenzie Rowland. Alyssa Rubel. Jordan Hope Rudd. Jason Ryan. Noah Samuel Ryle. Chitwan Saini.
Juliette Grace Salazar. Haley Dawn Sanders. Nicole Leanne Sanderock. Andrew Kwasi Sarpong. Nicholas David Sauer. Jeffrey Ryan Souter. Zachary Scott Schneider. Christopher James Schomer. Isabella Lee Schoolcraft. Alyssa Kaylin Scott. Cora Marie Sears. Courtney Renee Sears. Noah Seitz. Cameron J. Shake. Allison Shannon. Melanie Shea. Kimberly Shortridge. Caitlyn Siemens. Cameron Silva. Tatum Silvers. Sarah Simcox. Reese Simpson. Olivia Skidmore.
Mackenzie Skipper. Natalie Slaughter. Dylan Sloat. Brooke Allison Smalley. Nikki Smith. Ryan Smith. Shelby Danielle Smith. Wilson Smith. Corey Snyder. Sydney Ann Snyder. Mallory Sokolowski. Mitchell Austin Washington Sparks. Kristen Ann Spindler. Andrew Dean Stafford. Victoria Ann Staley. Garrett Stallnecker. Savannah Nicole Stark. Kessler Lauren Steele. Erin Nicole Stites. Shane L. Stitz. Sarah Elizabeth Stockman. Eve Stone. Matthew L. Stone.
Tate A. Stovall. Sophia Claire Strain. Cole Striedelmeyer. Chase Summit. Haley Marie Surd. Milan Monet Swan. Andrea Schweitzer. Emma L. Taylor. Michaelin Nicole Tharp. Allison Elizabeth Thomas. Lindsay Noel Thomas. Jacob C. Thrasher. Bryce A. Tidd. Janelle Denise Trackwell. Kevin Oliver Trumbauer. Mackenzie Logan Turner. Lauren Tyson. Levi Bradford Vansickle. John Vons III. Jordan Matthew Vest. Avery James Vick. Justin Walker Wall. Connor M. Walsh.
James P. Ward. Rachel Renee Warner. Sydney Sue Warner. Reese Weilhamer. Michael Weisky. Evan Whaling. Kyle Wicker. Alexis R. Wiggins. Christopher David Wilkinson. Katrina Williams. Molly N. Williams. Robin Anderson Williams. Lauren Wright. Michael Wyman. Price Adade Yebisi. Kaya Zentz. Camille Zoe. Mitchell Gustav Zook. Garrett Michael Adams. Spencer D. Alexander. Cameron C. Allen. Dustin Baird.
Olivia P. Barksdale. Samuel Scott Bauer. Joshua Billick. Bradley Boswell. Paige Brada. Cameron Brooks. Isaac Buckles. Hannah Elizabeth Grace Bumps. Emily Burns. Kyle Burris. Julius E. Bird. Colin J. Campbell. Sydney Carlsgaard. Madison Carr. Zachary Carson. Aislinn Wilhelmina Chavali. Brooklyn Nicole Chittenden. Susan Brooke Chitwood. Bryce Claridge. Julia A. Coons. Richard Cornell. Rachel E. Deerdorf.
Taylor Dempewolf. Carissa Dilk. Callie Dillon. Avery Drain. Megan Dunn. Courtney Renee Eck. Andrew Eddington. Samuel Endress. Emma C. Erickson. Alyssa Fincham. Hannah G. Forey. Max Galuzis. Sarance Garge. Keegan R. Gephardt. Victor Muchai Gachina. Aaron J. Jin. Jenna Glogoza. Casey Graffman. Carolyn Alice Griesmer. Lauren Gross. Tim Grautzer. Catherine Hanna.
Victoria Elizabeth Harden. Andrew Scott Harris. Shelby Harris. Victoria Hayes. Alec E. Helton. Brittany A. Henderson. Adam Herring. Jeremy J. Hicks. Garrett R. Hill. Taylor Horn. Emily Ireland. Cameron Jacks. Addison Johnson. Alonzo J. Johnson. Kylie Johnson. Christopher Jones. Aiden Cantor. Audrey Keller. Aaron Siobhan Kelly. Sarah Kempf. Raider Paul Kopetsky. Tiffany Rose Lietzman. Nicholas Stephen LePage.
Jacqueline Marie Lohman. Emma Lee Long. Brandon Eric Luzier. Haley Marie Martin. Kaylee Mae Mason. Jefferson Cole McDaniel. Alexis McIntosh. Kimberly McKenzie. Taylor Nicole McNamee. Jackson McQuillan. Kaylee Joe Mills. Stephen Mills. Adam Morrow. Colin Munoz. Quinn Munson. Phoebe An Nguyen. Mia Nunokawa. Sidrisha Pandit. Cameron R. Parr. Alexandra Rose Petty. Sarah Elizabeth Phillips. Taylor K. Politan. Lillian Ponder.
Nathan Probst. McKenna R. Pruitt. Emily Ann Putman. Unique Cherie Reddy. Riley A. Rittberger. Madeline J. Robbins. Ariana Ann Rodeski. Bradley M. Runquist. Madison K. Schnurple. Cameron Faith Shutley. Aria Nicole Schofield. Jessica Rose Schwedler. Abrielle Hope Sears. Christopher Edward Schaffner. Kendall A. Shoemaker. Zachariah Michael Shoup. Jackson Ray Simmons. Natalie Page Skidmore. Noah Kaiser Smelzer. Ethan A. Smith. Aaron J. Snow. Skylar Joseph Spetter.
Jillian Joette Starr. Cole M. Stetler. Kristen Nicole Stewart. Ryan Anthony Stinnett. Dakota B. Stoughton. Evan J. Suarez. Caleb Thomas Soya. Jameson M. Taylor. Gary Thompson. Justin Toll. Jay Vaught. Nathan S. Wagner. Brett Walker. Jenna R. Walker. Alexis M. Wallman. Ronald Ward. Clara B. Wascom. Austin M. Watts. Lauren West. Caslin M. Westall. Ashley Wheat. Calvin Whitaker.
Cole M. Williams. Trevor R. Williams. Kyle J. Winkler. Catherine Nicole Winslow. Sierra M. Woodside. Andrew Starren Wright. Cameron Wright. Olivia J. Wright. Brittany Lynn York. Ashlyn M. Zoss.
Ian Dwight and Emily Hoy, would you join us on stage, please?
Hi, I'm Ian Dwight, Senior Class Vice President.
And I'm Emily Hoy, Senior Class Secretary.
With the turning of our tassels, we officially become Center Grove alumni.
From this moment forward, we will no longer be high school students.
Throughout these past 4 years, we've all made lifelong friends, unforgettable memories, and we've acquired the knowledge and the skills we need to be successful.
To everyone who has supported us from our first day of kindergarten to our last day of high school, we thank you.
Your love and commitment will not be forgotten.
This school has prepared us for what's to come.
And now it is our job to discover our passions and use our knowledge to better the world around us.
Now, class of 2018, please rise.
It's the time for the moment we've all been waiting for.
To signify our steps into the next chapter of our lives, please join us in moving our tassels from the right side to the left.
Seniors, graduates.
graduates.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
I got it.
On behalf of the members of the class of 2018, I'd like to thank you for your attendance at today's ceremony. We ask that members of the class report to the auditorium to pick up their diplomas. Friends and family members should wait in the Hall of Excellence. Guests, please allow all members of the graduating class to exit the gym during the playing of the recessional before you begin to exit. As you leave campus today, please travel safely on your way home and be patient with traffic. Mr. Schessler, please begin the recessional.